Hey everybody, I just turned 15. Well, I didn't turn 15. I'm just a character being played by somebody who did turn 15. Don't worry, I already had a mental breakdown about that last night. Now last year, I used my birthday money to buy a PlayStation 2. So I've had this thing for about a year now. And since this is the only thing I could play for about 9 days, I think I have enough experience with this console to tell you guys if it's worth it to pick up in the modern day.
The PS2 is the highest selling console of all time, and there's a good reason for that. Not anything about the games though, it's the fact that the PS2 could play DVD movies, which was revolutionary back in the day since the DVD players were ass expensive. So why spend $600 on a DVD player when you can spend half that amount on a DVD player and a game console? But let's just go over the game console aspect of this. I have over 20 games for this system, so I have a general idea of what the system library is like. While I loved picking up new PS2 games, I've pretty much stopped getting new games for the console over the past few months. The same thing happened to me around a year after I got my NES. The hype for me kind of worn out and I stopped caring about it for a bit. But recently, I've gotten a bit more excited about the NES and getting new games for it, so hopefully that'll happen with the PS2 soon. One of my main problems with picking up an NES in the modern day was that most good games on the system could be played on Nintendo Switch Online. But it's missing the best game, Marble Madness. This isn't a problem for the PS2, mostly because Nintendo would never re-release PlayStation games, but in general, PS2 games almost never get re-released. A lot of the big games they put into collections on the PS3 back in the day were PS2 games, but that isn't really part of the conversation, since that's pretty much a retro console in itself. If any game in the library appeals to you, getting the console in the original game is probably your best bet for playing the game. There's also the fact that this console is somewhat cheap. It's gone up in price recently though. It can go for around $120 on eBay, but last year I was able to get the console and a game for only $70. A lot of the best games on the console can go for pretty low prices if you look hard enough. If you have money to spare, you could get a decent collection fairly quickly. There's also the want for the console as a collector. Since this is the most sold console of all time, a collection would feel incomplete without a PS2 for some. In fact, I originally bought this console just because of how iconic it is. I was near the beginning of my collecting craze, so it felt like if I didn't have many consoles, I'd be seen as a poor collector. Looking back, I was a bit too paranoid how I collected, but I kind of hit it out of the park with this decision.
Overall, I think this is a great console to collect for as a big collector, considering there's a lot of games on here that are really great and never got re-released. And also, it's pretty cheap to afford today. Wait, what? Hey, what's going on here? No, not again! Well, all my games are gone again. And the magical force that did this to me took all my consoles this time, too. Wait, there's still one more game on the shelf. I know it has to be done.